Hello, friends, and welcome to the Follow the Moon Challenge. My name is Alice in Wonderland, and I'm a little bit obsessed with the moon. This 2026 Follow the Moon Challenge is going to be unlike any other moon challenge because all of the moon cycles in 2026 are slightly shifted and different from what they usually are. We always do this challenge in Aquarius season because Aquarius helps us to think about things differently and to think outside of the box. So it's a perfect time to learn something new about the moon. So I think we're all going to learn something new together about the moon, myself included. I think this challenge is going to be really interesting. So whether you've done the challenge before, I think this is going to be something new and exciting. And if you haven't done this before, then of course it's going to be new and exciting. So I'm really excited to jump into today's video. Know that we are premiering them live every day for 30 days at 11 a.m. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Welcome to day 16 of the Follow the Moon Challenge. We have another Void of Course day, and like I said at the beginning of this challenge, we have a lot of really long Void of Course days within this moon cycle, and I do kind of feel like it is a good teaching moment for getting to know all of the different energies of the zodiac sign, because when we are in between those signs within that transition, I do really feel like you can feel the absence of the energy. So I think maybe this is just a good learning experience for somebody who is tapping into the moon's energy for 30 days to maybe really recognize that shift when we move from the earth to the air. At 9:52 a.m. this morning is when the moon started to transition, and then it will officially be in Libra at 1:56 p.m. this afternoon. After the moon is full, it starts to decrease, and that's when we get our waning gibbous moon. So you can see by this image here, the right half of the moon starts to darken or shadow. If you remember my catchphrase from earlier in this challenge, when the right is light, the moon is waxing. So when the right is shadowed, the moon is waning. So yes, the moon's energy and light is decreasing, but we still have a lot of it available to us. I find that I don't start to slow down until after the last quarter, which is when the moon will be 50% lit, but 50% lit and decreasing with energy. So I really find that with gibbous moon energy, whether it's waxing or waning, there's a lot of light and a lot of energy there. I find that between the first quarter and the last quarter moon is when I am the most productive and the most motivated to and inspired to keep moving. Yes, of course, the waxing is always going to feel lighter and brighter and more activating, but I do still find that a waning gibbous moon still has a lot of light, still has a lot of energy, and I find myself still staying motivated. I also find that with a waning gibbous moon, I feel more relief with that decrease and with that decrescendo of energy, because it's like after we get past the full moon, it's like, okay, we can relax now. It's like waxing is going uphill. It's like you've got more movement and you've got more action, but because you're more motivated to get to the top. But then after the full moon, it's like this downhill slope, and there's just more ease and flow to it, I find. Okay, so back to this transition. We're going from Virgo Earth to Libra Air. We've talked about the two earth signs that we've gone through already, Virgo and Taurus. We talked about Taurus being that tree energy, that stability, and that solid structure. So like there's no movement there. Virgo, there's a little bit more movement, and I know I said this in yesterday's video, that Virgo organizes, like shifts the things around, moves the boxes into place, categorizes the boxes, labels the boxes. Like there's more movement to Virgo, but I do find with earth energy that there is like too much earth energy. We have the capacity to get stuck, like feeling like you're stuck in the mud. So, transitioning from this solid, stable structure of earth energy brings the energy from our root chakra all the way up to our crown chakra and the top of our head. So it's like moving, we're anchored and grounded, and our roots are planted in the earth. And now we're inhaling that wisdom up and to our brain and allowing the energy to hang out in our heads for a while. Without getting too much into your head about Libra and what Libra means, I really want to focus on the elements today. I think most of us can relate to the element of earth. We think of the actual earth, the dirt under our feet. We think about roots going deep into the ground. We think about rocks. We think about trees. We think about physical solid objects. When we think of air, it's the opposite of that. I mean, we can't even see air. So if you want to associate objects with air, I like to associate leaves or feathers. But it is this intangible thing. Our thoughts, we can't touch our thoughts, but they have a great profound effect on us. And it's our breath. It's the breath in our lungs. With every breath that we take, it gives us this new, fresh start. So the element of air brings that wisdom and knowledge that is like a breath of fresh air. I'm laughing at this image because there is no image that you can use to describe air. So it's just like these little curly cues in in the air, representing the air element. But if you look at the symbol for earth and air, they are literally the opposite. The earth symbol is the downward triangle with a line through it, and the air element is the upward triangle with a line through it. So they literally are the opposite energies. So think back to this morning and notice how you were feeling. Did you find that you were maybe a little bit more slow moving and had needed a little extra cup of coffee or extra something to get you going? And then maybe set a reminder for around 2 o'clock this afternoon to check in again with yourself and see how you feel, and see if you notice that shift from the earth, the ground beneath your feet, the solid structure, and see if you notice if things feel a little bit lighter, if you feel like you can breathe a little bit better, if you feel like you're having more thoughts and ideas and wisdom coming through. And remember that too much of the earth element can make you feel weighed down, and this is what causes depression. This is like too much reflection on the past, living in the past, and causing these really heavy emotions that you're unable to let go of. This transition from that heaviness into something lighter can be beneficial. And I'm really noticing that with the craziness that's going on in the world, that I am really having to check in with myself a lot more frequently. So maybe this Void of Course Day is just a good excuse to do that, to kind of think back to how you felt around 10 o'clock when we started to transition, and then set another reminder to check in around 2 p.m. And then, like, at the end of your workday, check in and see how you're feeling, because we'll officially be in that Libra energy. And we will talk all about Libra tomorrow. We're actually kind of shortened in our Libra time, and that's been happening a lot lately. We had 2 Virgo new moons in a row that kind of took Libra's new moon glory, and we have been having these really long transitions into Libra that kind of shorten the time period that the moon is like fully in Libra energy. So I think that's really, really interesting, these Void of Course times, that I think that we can learn so much from it. And I think that we can really learn from that absence of an energy, the emptiness, and to not be in such a hurry to like fill it back up with whatever just to replace that, to be okay with the emptiness, and so that you're being mindful and picking and choosing what you're filling your energy up with, how you're occupying your time, and making sure that it's something that really truly benefits you, that it's not just a placeholder. It's not just this thing that you want because you want something. I think right now we should be reaching for the things that nourish us wholly, and I think that we should be spending our time with the things that affect us in a positive way and not in a destructive, negative way. So let me know in the comments, are you feeling the earthy Virgo energy, or are you feeling the emptiness, or are you feeling the light, airy energy? Use any emoji in the comments. Let's put a tree in the comments for the Virgo. Let's do a, I don't know, do they have a spiral symbol for air? What emoji can we use for air? But comment below whichever energy you're feeling. I found that last time we had a big transition, I was really feeling that void and that liminal and in between. So let me know in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow to talk all about Libra on day 17.